Welcome back to Only Talk Sports. We talk sports every single day, or at least we try to. I'm your host, Jeffrey, and subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. Dante Moore, one of the top quarterback recruits in the 2023 class, has decided to decommit from Oregon and go to UCLA. How's that going to affect Oregon? How's it going to affect UCLA? And why did Dante Moore make the decision to move from Oregon to UCLA? I'm going to break it all down. Now, Dante Moore, he's a very talented high school prospect, and a lot of programs really wanted to get him because he's really talented, but Oregon was able to secure his commitment, and he's been committed to them for a decent amount of time. But to me, in my opinion, I think the biggest reason why Dante Moore decided to flip from Oregon to UCLA is because Bo Nix has decided to return to Oregon for next season. And I think that Dante Moore is a guy that wants to play immediately. Now, I'm not saying that that is the be-all and end-all, but it kind of makes sense because you look at it. Bo Nix just announced that he's returning to Oregon for next season, and Dante Moore immediately decides to flip from Oregon to UCLA. I'm not saying that's the be-all and end-all. There could have been other factors at play. You never know. But again, he wants to probably play immediately, and Bo Nix being the starting quarterback for next season at Oregon, that is not going to happen for Dante Moore. So he's going to go to UCLA, where UCLA is losing Dorian Thompson-Robinson, their starting quarterback from this season, and he is going to be graduating. And UCLA really needs a quarterback. And UCLA has shown that they can really develop a quarterback. Chip Kelly did a great job with Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and Dante Moore is going to really be able to fit that billing. And he will be able to play immediately because UCLA more than likely will not have another player on the roster unless they get a transfer portal player. But more likely than not, Dante Moore will immediately be the starting quarterback. And I think that's a big reason why he has flipped his commitment over to UCLA. Now, is this going to affect Oregon? I don't really think so because of the fact Oregon, you're going to have Bo Nix next season, and then after that, you're probably going to be able to secure another commitment by then from another top quarterback, or you're going to be able to use the transfer portal like every other program to be able to get a quarterback, just like they did with Bo Nix. So I think Oregon's going to be fine at the end of the day. Oregon is a school that you can almost get whoever you want, maybe outside of the top programs. Oregon is a fantastic place to be. They have a great NIL operation, so I think that they will be fine on getting a quarterback in the future. So I don't think Dante Moore flipping from Oregon to UCLA should be a cause for concern for Oregon because they should be able to get a quarterback in the future that will be very solid for them. But for UCLA, how important is this for UCLA to get Dante Moore? I think it's a great addition for UCLA to be able to land Dante Moore since he is such a high recruit, and that's a great look for UCLA. But the key question for me is how long will Dante Moore be at UCLA? Because if he plays this season for UCLA as their starting quarterback as a true freshman and he does really well, he could just enter the transfer portal and go somewhere else. Now, I'm not saying UCLA might not be able to keep him. Maybe they have enough NIL that he will not transfer, or maybe he'll just like UCLA a lot and Chip Kelly and the type of offense that they run. But the key question of whether this will be a success story for UCLA is whether Dante Moore stays longer than a year. If he just plays 1 year at UCLA and then enters the transfer portal and goes to a bigger program, then this doesn't really help UCLA too much. That's why I'm saying with Oregon losing Dante Moore, it's not necessarily a big deal because they have Bo Nix coming back and then they can get a really good quarterback in the future. But for UCLA, yes, this might be really awesome to get Dante Moore, but if he does not stay more than 1 year, then the positives taken away from this will only be so far. Yes, they'll have probably a really solid season for 1 year with him, but the key for UCLA is they're going to have to be able to keep him longer than 1 year for it to be a true positive at the end of the day. But I think it's a really interesting decision by Dante Moore to flip his commitment from Oregon to UCLA. Kind of a shocking decision, but when you break it all down, it kind of makes sense for him not to go to Oregon anymore and flip his commitment to UCLA with Bo Nix returning for Oregon, and he probably wants to play immediately. So for Dante Moore, I think it's a good decision to go to UCLA. He'll be able to more than likely play immediately, and if he does really well and he wants to enter the transfer portal, he'll be able to go to any program that he wants. And even if he doesn't enter the transfer portal and he stays at UCLA, I think he'll be able to do a really good job there as well. Maybe the only negative I can see for Dante Moore is maybe it would have been better for him to learn behind an experienced quarterback in Bo Nix, but instead he's going to be able to play immediately. You never know. There's always a chance it could not work out, but more likely than not, I think this is going to be a good decision for Dante Moore. I don't really think it's going to hurt Oregon that much because they'll be able to get a quarterback in the future after Bo Nix, and I think that this will be a great positive for UCLA as long as they're able to keep him for more than 1 year. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Like this video down below. Comment down below whether you think this was a good move by Dante Moore and how his decision affects Oregon and UCLA, and I'll see you next time.